in this video, we're going to change out both high pressure fuel pumps. But with that being said, I just came back from somewhere. So this engine is pretty hot, but we're going to get it done with no gloves and no special tools, just common tools that you need. You don't have to have no special tools, no BMW tools that stamp BMW or anything on it. So the car dies after 30-40 minutes of driving it. You got to let it just sit for 30-40 minutes, and then it'll crank back up and drive like nothing was wrong with it. However, it will leave you stranded. So we're going to change that in a minute. Don't need no special tools. You need your 17mm wrench. You need your Torx T27 flathead screwdriver. Let's get to it. Everybody always look at these motors and say, it's a whole lot of stuff under here. I don't know what I'm touching. Everything's plastic. Everything just comes off. Mind you, this is a hot motor. So I am working on a hot engine. So, you know, it's hot. So if you hear me cussing, say something, it's because this engine is hot. First thing we're going to do, we're going to loosen up the airbox. That's loose. This pops off. You got your little tab right here. Pop that off. You got your wire holders for your oxygen sensors. Mass airflow sensor. This comes right off. Get the tab with the flathead to get the intake boot off. That comes right off. Then I'll take the second portion of the airbox off, which is this boot right here. There's your high pressure fuel pump. That's one of them right there. So you see it's only 2 bolts, 2 connectors. One's an inline inlet, one's an outlet. We're going to change it. Release some of the fuel pressure out. No, I didn't have no rag either. Yes, it is a hot engine. I know people are going to put in the comments like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. However, I was the one stranded. So at this point, there's no fuel pressure. You have your plug for your sensor. That's out. I put that off to the side. Mind you, this is a hot engine. So I did say a T27 and I was incorrect. It's actually a T30. So we're going to get this off. We've already taken off our electrical connections, which is only one. So we're going to take this out. And when you're taking these off, do it evenly, because if you don't do it evenly, then it starts feeling like there's some extra tension on it and so forth. But for the most part, it does come out pretty simple. There's one extra step with it that I will mention. Keep that and put that there. I mean, if you really came down to it, you could actually change these on the side of the road. There's an old one that's bad. New one. I could give out a part number, but I mean, all high pressure fuel pumps is the same. So, oh, by the way, there is a cam follower that they sometimes will say it recommends it. There's nothing wrong with this one, so we're not going to replace it. And when you take these out, there is no right or wrong way because they only go in one way. There's a little tab right in here. This is hot, so I keep shifting the fingers. That tab right there lines up with the cover, drops right in. Once you hear that pop, that's when you know it's in there. You do not want to be stranded on the side of the road, because we were stranded. The cameraman and I were stranded in the middle of the street. Cars was honking at us. People were getting upset. People were getting angry because all we were doing was prolonging their trip with what we were doing. First bolt is threaded in there. Get the second one. So now we can start bolting it down. Put my fuel line back on at the top. Put my fuel line back on at the bottom. Secure those. And then start plugging away. Alright, this one.
Get a C-stick over there.
Get my electrical connector. Place that back in. Make sure that pop. Make sure it don't come out. Get my 17 millimeter. Tighten that up. I'll flip this around. There you have it. That's done. You could do that in the parking lot. I mean, you could do it anywhere. I mean, luckily, I had it parked right here. Knew they were bad. There's two of them. I got to change the other one. But, I mean, the other one's pretty much just as simple. One other thing on these engines, sometimes when you start taking the air intake off and start manipulating and taking things off, because a lot of times you have to remove this bar and the air tube, the inlet tube. A lot of times this fuel line gets crimped up, and as you're driving, at times you'll start to smell a fuel odor. Sometimes it's the high pressure fuel pump that's actually leaking, and you notice your fuel economy will go down. But for the most part, sometimes it's this plastic gets brittle after oh so many heat cycles. But outside of that, you get stranded, most likely it's these high pressure fuel pumps. Mind you, I work on my cars myself. I don't go to a mechanic. And I got one extra thing to show you guys. Pretty much the same. Then you start putting your boots back on. Once again, this motor is pretty hot. To me, I just was running it a minute ago. So get your air box, put everything back together again. Plug your mass airflow sensor in. And that's pretty much it. Close this up. Reroute your wires. Done correctly. And pretty much after that, that's pretty much one whole side. Now, for the money shot, let's see it crank up. There you see, it runs. It's running right. Now I'm gonna do the second one just because I want to change both of them at the same time. It's just like if you was to change your headlight, you want to change both of them. So you know the same hours are on each headlight. I want the same hours on both fuel pumps. There is one misunderstanding that a lot of people will try to say where you have to turn the engine over to get them in line. That automatically happens because what'll happen is you'll hear like a little crunch noise, and then that's the fuel pump aligning itself. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Keep coming back. We're gonna start doing more videos on this vehicle. There's a few things that I need to fix with it. The next thing is just to get the code scanner, erase the code for the fuel pumps once I'm done. After that, there's nothing wrong. Everything else is just maintenance. You know, I am the warranty. There is no extra warranty on this vehicle. Like I said, we use a T30, a flathead screwdriver, and a 17mm ratchet. Nothing stamped BMW. This is Pittsburgh. This is Harbor Freight stuff. So don't be scared to work on your car. Don't be afraid. Get in there. You know, if you're having a bad day, change your oil. Check your brakes. Check your radiator fluid. Check your hoses. Check your belts. Get under your hood and wrench on it. As some people say, you got to wrench every day. Hey, that motivation comes to wrench every day and get everything done. And you save money and you learn about your vehicle. Once again, Cars in the Cut. It's Cliff signing off.